Hey, gang, welcome in. What's going on? Hope you're doing great. Happy Monday. No, what the shit? Today is Tuesday. No, today's Wednesday. Holy crap. All right, today's Wednesday. Welcome to day 2 of this full-time streaming venture. We're going to be diving in today to some fun stuff. Let me get set up here. Welcome into the stream. Let's see here. What am I doing? Hold on. Give me a second. I have to get set up. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 da 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 da. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 da 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 da. All right, hold on. I'm getting set up. Luna wanted cuddles, so that's why I'm late. If you want to yell at anybody, yell at Luna. Have I heard Ray Dow? Yes, that's what we're going to be talking about here. All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome in. Welcome to day 2 of Marco Meatball's full-time stream schedule life. I'm pretty excited. It's good to have all of you in here. Hello, YouTube. Hello over on Twitch. So I'm going to do something very unconventional for myself. We're going to go through my recorded footage of Monster Hunter Wilds. Something I've never done before is go through my footage with you on a stream. Am I shouting? I feel like I'm shouting. Good morning. What time is it? The problem is I have to find the footage. So I didn't prepare. So this is let's just call this a waiting room for the Monster Hunter Wilds footage. Where is it? Where could it be? It's here. I found it. Is it here? I think it's here. How you doing, Minnesota? Is it here? Yeah, about an hour and 50 minutes. All right, let's dive in, shall we? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. We have a very busy day ahead of us today. The first couple hours of this, probably hour, I should say, will be taking a look. This is the schedule for the day. Taking a look at the playthrough footage from my experience with Monster Hunter Wilds. Talking about the music, of course. This is a music channel. If you want to check out gameplay, you can absolutely check that out over at what's his name, Fighting Cowboy or Rurikon. Of course, those are the two Monster Hunter creators that come to my mind at the top of my head. So not doing any music stuff. And then after I finish filming this, we're going to dive into some of the games that have come out in 2024, starting all the way back in January. So you won't want to miss that if you're curious about what came out this year. We have a lot of work to do to make sure that video game music is being recognized by video game like awards. The Game Awards, is probably going to do the same thing that they did last year. And I'm not saying that the TGA is like the end all be all when it comes to video game stuff, but what I would say is that the Game Awards are a very, very, very visible component in celebrating video games. And I gotta admit, they do a pretty bad job of looking over the last X amount of months about what came out musically. And we have a responsibility as video game music fans, and maybe Monster Hunter only fans, but certainly video game music fans, to take a look at what came out in 2024 and really take stock of how much good music came out from the indie world, from the mobile game world, and the AAA world. That's our responsibility, and it's certainly a responsibility I feel that I've decided to take on for myself. I'm a little bit late, though, because it's mid-November. There's so much good music that came out this year. So I'm going to really try to double down on this for next year to really make sure that we're creating our own game awards for video game music. That isn't necessarily based on popularity, but based on like how good the stuff that existed this year was. So we're not talking about that, though. We're talking about Monster Hunter Wilds, and that's very important. So Headphones on. Headphones on, people. Okay. Hello. Welcome in, everybody. So, let me actually, hold on. Right. So the amazing thing, well, that says Days Gone. There you go. So the amazing thing about Monster Hunter, right off the gate, when we talk about the music of Monster Hunter Wilds, and obviously this is a beta, we're basing a lot of our opinions and perspectives on the beta. Things are obviously potentially going to change. But one of the really cool things about Monster Hunter Wilds, and all these games have that, of course, is this opening right here. Now, what's really incredible to me is that the minute that you step onto this panel on the PlayStation, and you step on, I've been watching too much manga, or been reading too much manga. Anyway, when we hover over the Monster Hunter Wilds beta theme, what do we first get? We get this amazing slowed down rendition of. Can anybody tell me what this theme is? Is this theme specific to Monster Hunter Wilds? Obviously, it features in that video that I made. This is a song that's obviously come up before in what we've seen for Monster Hunter. This is the main theme of Monster Hunter Wilds, right? And so we get the slowed down version of it, which is really exciting because of the wonderful things she does. Ask a urologist. Improving erections for No Nut November. What the fuck? I haven't watched that. I do like Dr. Mike, though. So listen to how we get the faster version in this particular rendition. I mean, it's stunning, and obviously it builds up, and then we get a real like peak of it up here, and here it really. Right, that's an incredible theme. I mean, I literally almost cried when I listened to it for the first time. So here we get that slowed down version of it. And I think this is such a nice touch. And I don't think anybody ever really talks about how cool it is that we... Now, obviously, for those of us that are PlayStation fans, I'm really still kind of pissed at Sony for removing themes from the PlayStation. I don't know why they thought that was a good idea. It's fucking not. It's the worst idea that Sony's ever come up with. In the history of jumbled and failed ideas, getting rid of themes for the PlayStation was the biggest mistake. I don't know if it's because they were going... I'm very passionate about this. I don't know if they were going for like trying to look really sleek and like a new modern age of gaming, but fuck you to bring it back. Like having personalized themes was one of the best parts about owning a PlayStation 4. It's infuriating. But anyway, so it's cool that we start off with this. Super ethereal, right? Very simple piano, kind of hinting at that again. And then we just dive in. We just say, okay, it's time. And as we fast forward through this, we get this really interesting main theme here on the title screen, which is similar to the one we heard, obviously. I find it interesting that it's that quiet build-up, right, that we heard in that previous theme. Well, actually, that is the main theme that we listened to, so it would be here. Except we get the, like, super dialed back motivic version. And what's interesting to me about this particular main theme right off the bat is that when we see the title screen, the title of the actual game, that's where we get that motif. And I think that that's really cool. And again, that's like such a unique and special thing that only really happens with video games, where, like a title screen, a title of a game flashes in front of the screen and you get the sound of the game's like thematic idea. So it's interesting how, like, this is sort of a loose idea, but Monster Hunter Wilds, essentially the name Monster Hunter Wilds has a theme attached to it, which is, I think, really interesting. Then we have this, and it's like sort of windy, dusty, sort of like what's happening? You know what I mean? Then we have another little reference to that theme in the cello, dancing with the flute. Isn't it cool too how, if you take a listen back, you can hear how the piano... Sorry. The piano still dances with us the whole time. And it's interesting too how musically we also are combining the flute in there, the oboe in there, which is really interesting because it adds a really nice textural quality. And I've been saying this for a while now, that I do believe that Monster Hunter music is the type of music that if you were to put Monster Hunter's music in a symphony hall, like just the orchestral pieces, like this, for instance, I really believe that no one would know the difference if you compare this to classical music, right? And I think that that's something that's really fascinating about Monster Hunter's music in particular, and there are other games, of course, that provide the same sense, that these pieces are so well orchestrated and so well written from a dynamic perspective, and they're not very simple. They're complex orchestral arrangements that are phenomenal. And they easily belong on stage with Prokofiev or Mozart or Beethoven or what have you. It's really cool. It's really cool that even something as simple as this can be so interesting to listen to, right? Then we get a little bit of that like exotic sound with sounds like I don't know the official title, but it has this like synthetic build almost. I love that little piano accent over top. I think that too, that like the gorgeous yada yada beautiful flute melody there that really, I think, sets us up for like this wonderful, like, I don't know, it feels like the desert landscape in a way, right? I don't know, it's very interesting how this particular theme oscillates between sort of ambience and melodic at the same time. It's a really nice way that it transitions from that da 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 into now. Isn't that cool? I think that's really cool. Oh, I'm sorry, chat. How you doing today? Are you good? This is an early stream, 10:36 in the morning. You doing all right? You at work? You hanging out? It's the end of your day? You doing all right? I'm sorry I didn't check in and just see how you're doing really quick. That's rude of me. It's midday. It's 3:30 p.m. Oh, we have lots of Europeans. It's a nice mix of people. Oh, 4 a.m. You know, I tried to I tried to do the 5:30 a.m. wake ups, but I actually found that I was exhausted and it just didn't work. You need me to bump the music volume? Sure, I will. This is as good as it can get. I think the actual recording was low. So I just turned this up all the way though, so. Fascinating curiosity in that, again, the cello mixed in with the flute, and then the piano's constantly moving. What? They announced a Monster Hunter gacha game? Shut the fuck up. No, they did not. No, they didn't. What? What? What is this? Hold on. Shut the fuck up. Timmy? Oh, God. Oh, shut up. Outlanders? Wait, I just realized, I just thought of something. The technology's advanced so far that any of the old games, like the games on the 3DS or any of the older Monster Hunter games could actually work really well on a mobile format, right? Like, I mean, theoretically, but they're gonna nickel and dime that shit. You want to have a good ghillie suit? Well, you got to pay $199. Shut the... Hey, listen, if this is the musical quality, then I'm like fucking here for it. Oh my god, it runs like ass though. Do you see how bad this runs? I mean, this is cool though. Why would they put this in here? It doesn't look good. Shut up. This is cool. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh god. Musically it's very like Welcome to the New Frontier. It's got a great vibe to it musically. I mean, like, you think I'm not going to play this? It's a little on the nose melodically, musically, like a lot of the other Monster Hunter tracks from the mainline series have a little bit of a build up. So it's clearly like, I don't think it's the original composer, but actually, who is the... I gotta look up who the composers are even. All that to say, like, this feels like it's a... not a parody, but it's essentially borrowing the original concepts of what Monster Hunter sounds like, rather than the actual, like, compositional team. We're not gonna watch the gameplay because that... I don't go on Twitter anymore. All right. Anyway, so let's check out back here. Well, actually, no, I want to see. Hold on. Let me see. I love how even the trailer was dropping frames. So this is Outlanders, Monster Hunter Outlanders gameplay. Monster Hunter Outlanders gameplay. free to play. Free to play. Okay, that's the trailer. Wait, let's look at some screenshots. I mean, this looks legitimate. Capcom's moving over to BlueSky? Oh, fuck yeah. BlueSky is where it's at right now. You know these guys are going to cost money. Maybe not the Palico, but these guys are going to cost money. Holy shit. Is that a heavy? Yeah, it's a heavy. Oh my god, it's the oh my god, I love this armor. So they're borrowing. This looks like oh man, who is this? This is a bow made out of not Titiyaku, Tobi Kadashi, yeah, or Kirin. I could see Kirin too. And this is Paolumo, yeah. Well, this I don't know. That's what's her name? Legalia? Legiana, I'm sorry. Wow, my fucking brain. And that, okay, so it's all Monster Hunter World monsters. This is what's his name? What Odogaron, yep. That's right. That looks like a Pookie Pookie. Interesting. Excuse me? Oh my god, not the fucking fucking Kuluyaku, yeah. Of course, they have to lead with the anime girls. That's cool. The Baroth with like some interesting tassels here. That's cool. Look at that gun lance. Huh. You don't think that's Baroth? That looks like Baroth's armor in well, it must not be if there's tassels, because that's not in the original armor. Huh. Oh, I so badly want to go to Monster Hunter Leaks. No, I'm not going to do that. All right, let's get back on track. Let me crank up the volume here. So I found this very interesting. I found the character theme. Hold on one second.
Impressive. Thanks.
I found the character. Here we go. So this is cool because it's really like ethereal and very, very like tribal, very primal sound, of course. I think it really leans into the idea of being a wide open world that's different than what we've seen before. You know what I mean? I found that to be really cool. And also the lower piano register was really interesting to listen to. And I also think it does a great job of setting up the sort of like, I don't know, it's a very like, it's a very obviously peaceful sound. It wasn't really about, this character creator's music doesn't really feel like it's about like being a hero. It's more about like being this thing that lives in the environment. It's cool. And I also think that was one of the cool things about the beta itself, is that I felt like I was like a living part of the environment, but not an active participant, which Monster Hunter's always done really well. It's funny because someone was talking about Rain World the other day, but in a lot of ways, Rain World and Monster Hunter are not that dissimilar, are they? Because the ecosystem functions on its own, just like it does in Monster Hunter. Maybe Rain World's because it's like condensed down into like a smaller package. It's able to do it maybe even more interestingly. But I think that's one of the cool things about Monster Hunter, is that you're like, you can be an observer, you can be, you know, go on your expeditions. You're not necessarily, the world doesn't revolve around you. And somehow this character theme kind of feels the same way, you know? like that's the whole dum dum da dum. Like that's it, right? So like all in the lower register, very simple, very elegant. We have a little bit of that instrument up top, very like that's that sort of exoticism, if you will. And just to be clear, exoticism is not like a bad word. I think that there composers throughout history have used soundscapes from, you know, lands that they weren't necessarily familiar with, for better or for worse. You know, it can also pay homage and respect from a like a different area. Exoticism is something that we've seen a lot in Carmen, the opera Carmen. You see it a lot in Madama Butterfly. You see it a lot even in Fanciullo del West, which is Giacomo Puccini, an Italian composer, writing an opera about the Wild West in America. And that's technically exoticism because it's not like Puccini lived there. So I think that's a really interesting thing. And then you have the little accent. You also have the nice little accent, and I will say that happens throughout this entire beta, and will happen throughout this entire game, where we're essentially reusing that motif, that literally that lick, ba da 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 ya da 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 ya da 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 da. Right, we're using that lick pretty much throughout this entire game. There's a prevalence of that theme throughout this entire thing, which is really cool.
Impressive. Thanks.
Right, we're gonna skip this, but point is, this is part of the problem. You're getting the raw version of this, which is just screams and shouts, and like this would never be in an actual recording. So, yeah, I'm good. There's no way I'm gonna play Wilds by myself, so it'll definitely be a group up situation. But I also like, there's obviously, if we can pretend like the screams aren't shouting. There's an interesting way that the piano shifts into this sort of discordant sound quality, where it goes from instrumental into like this muted, almost muffled, compressed sound, which is really interesting too. Right around here.
Impressive.
Not here, hold on. And then we fast forward. And I like how this really sounds like possibility, right? Right? Sustain that piano upper register, and then right? And then this again. Sort of like, I think that's really cool. I don't know about you, but I think it's really cool how we have the bum 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 ba 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 ba. And it's interesting how it does that, because it's like, well, what's it trying to say? Like, why would it do that? Why would it sort of get a synthetic sound quality to it? Maybe it's about discovery. Maybe it's about, like, you know, entering into a new world. Maybe it's about you know, the crunch could be about danger, right? And so like a mixture of beauty and danger. I don't know. It's really cool. And there's that motif again. Da-da-ya. Well, that sounds like Elder Scrolls. Hold on. That sounds like Elder Scrolls. You even said it. And then the bit of Elder Scrolls. Yeah. I don't know why that's there. But I really like that bassoon mixed with this almost rain. And then again, the upper register piano has a sound quality of rain, possibility, you know, all that sort of stuff. All right, let's fast forward. Took me way too long to do this. I was not happy with. All right, so then we thrust in. Hopefully I didn't name him something embarrassing. No, I went with Marcus. Oh, no, I went with Marco? Okay, I went with Marco. Very boring. Usually in games I go with Marcus. What's my weapon? Don't ask. I'm so undecided about everything. So then we dive in, and it's pretty interesting. I want to hear the transition.
Let's do this.
Let's do this. It's such a smooth transition. And this is cool. So as the ship expands out, we get you know? And obviously this sounds to me like, and if anybody in here is a sort of Middle Eastern, Egyptian, Indian expert in music, let me know. But it sounds like a duduk. Bop yum. And that's an amazing little lick, you know? That's an amazing little lick because it goes literally and then we pull back, and that's a really cool shot where we pull back and suddenly we're like, there we are. We're in, immediately you know where you are. You know immediately that you're in a desert with that soundscape, you know? Nice crescendo there as the brass sort of pushes into it.
So far.
Hi.
Oh, hey there.
Hey! Over here!
And what was cool to me about this background, nice pause. What was really cool to me about this background music is that it really is inobtrusive. It's essentially one instrument that's just guiding the like musical ideas around. I thought that was really nice.
Over here, Hunter!
I'm going to fast forward to the actual... And there's more of that theme right there.
Monster. I've selected you as a lead hunter for this expedition.
Thank you, sir.
Heavy emphasis on percussion, and then there's that main theme again. See, da 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 da, ba 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 ba. That's actually the Proof of a Hero motif. That's cool. That's a little lick of Proof of a Hero.
I've selected you as a lead hunter for this expedition.
Thank you, sir.
Ba 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 ba
won't
ba. Because we say, I'm selecting you as the hero. That's cool.
Easy. You'll need the proper guide.
Twinkling bow and so on and so
Speaking of
forth.
which, I have an extra assignment.
Resetting
for you.
back to like this real sort of subliminal piano, a little bit of possibility. Oh, Alma. I love her.
Get things set up and ready to go.
Look!
So then this is really cool because as we are encroaching on the danger, we get a shift in music, which is really cool.
Time to part!
Aye!
Again, interesting how we go with like a synthetic, synthetic crunch. And it's interesting how it does it veers away from the naturalism of the traditional orchestration, and it really goes in. Has there ever been a Monster Hunter that has really deviated from the orchestral sound and gone with a more synthetic sort of electronic soundscape? Because it does appear here quite a bit.
There's so many.
They're exceptionally agitated. Could they be chasing something?
It's a person.
That's such a neat little moment, isn't it? Says it's a person. Bah, bah, bah. Immediately we thrust into it.
Exceptionally agitated. Could they be chasing something?
It's a person.
Heavy elements there.
Bring us closer.
And crash right into them!
Then what do we do? Hold on.
Love this percussion right there.
That's all right.
Can you reach it?
I'll have to try.
You know what I really like about the fact that we do that with the percussion there is that it's actually really subtle, and so it ends up feeling really intense because it's like da-da-doom, ba-da-doom, boom, ba-da-doom, 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 boom, ba-da-doom, ba-da-doom, and I think that's a really satisfying rhythmic intention there and a rhythmic propulsion that's really satisfying to listen to. Again, more of this synthetic crunch, a little bit of dissonance in there. It's such a neat little thing to then pull back as we're like, is he gonna make it? Is he gonna make it? That's that typical like, let's extend into this echo, almost no sound or like a distortion, and then watch, as soon as we hit it, he'll make it. Back in, right? Now we actually, this is interesting because we almost end up in like a sea shanty kind of. I mean, it's much more much more of an element there with the violin, or what? It's probably more of a viola or a cello. But this is when we get thrust into a new musical idea.
Here we go. Hold on.
And then hear those horns. That's just like 3 descending notes. And yet it's amazing how can do a great job of like, oh no, this is bad. You know what I mean? But there's a dire straits in it, which is really cool, especially when you consider how these guys are just like at our sides at all times. And then the second time it appears, that's really cool. Let's pay attention to that. The second time it appears, we actually have harmony there with the other horns, the other set of horns. Right? Right. And again, that makes it really dire too. Right?
Looks like it knows a way.
Yeah, so again, very subtle shift there. But one of the things that's really worth pointing out is the fact that here we have essentially this moment of stillness as we're floating down. I mean, this is what I'm talking about by like little design details musically that really enhance a piece. Most people totally don't even pay attention to it. Myself included sometimes, because there's so many little details. But even here, I was thinking to myself like, oh, this is a little bit boring. I should fast forward. I should skip forward. But if you really take a listen, it makes perfect sense why we would pull back on the music here as we're... Watch, ready? Notice how we pull back here musically. the drums are still there, and then as we start to land, and I think also too, it does such a great job because now that the girl and the what's its name are down in here, now it really picks up in volume again.
I know what to do.
Heavy percussion use here as well.
Get out of here.
Now because of speed, now we're really going. This is the Balaharas and the sacreds. Here, there's even more of a forward thrust because now we're actively being chased by the Balahara, and we're trying to get away from them as fast as possible. Right. Really nice horn accents there as well. Dissonance in those horns, it's so cool. It's such a cool little touch. Ba, 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 ba. Interesting dissonance in those horns. Dissonance there. Dissonance there with the crescendo.
I bet we can bring those rocks down.
And now it's a reset. And now we're at peace, so there's a reset there.
This way!
We're out of harm's way. But then we're not. Boom! Do you see how the horns get boop? Oh, sorry. Good morning. You hear how the horns go boop? It's such a cool thing because the Balahar just jumps out of nowhere and it hits you in the face. Oh, hell yeah. And then we get a break musically. All right, let's fast forward a little bit. That was good. Let's see.
Perfect weapon for you.
Me being indecisive. Me going with
Have
the
you
light
chosen
bow
your
gun.
Have you chosen your weapon?
Hey David, how you doing? Lyle, yeah, this is my playthrough of the beta. I was being indecisive. I think it's cool to use a heavy horn. Right, that's very cool because it sets up this big bastard. The horns, especially, they're really cool. It's interesting how with the Chotacabra we get some really interesting spooky strings there, which is very intense. Obviously, it leaves us feeling like, oh shit, this thing is terrifying, right? Again, I'm talking like little microscopic details that make or break the musical experience. Now, you could technically not have any music here. It probably would sound fine. But having that little extra of like, holy shit, this guy's got a huge long tongue. It's disgusting. It's terrifying. He's big. He's licking the shit out of that dude. It's really scary. And then those horns again thrust into our face as we think about the fact that there's a scary quality and a size quality to the Chupacabra, which is pretty cool.
No! Stay away! Come on, bud. We have to run.
Again, the descending notes really are like a sense of urgency. You know what I mean?
Go! I can't just leave him.
I'll help. Hurry!
This is terrific. I mean, again, that's this type of music where it's like we have to move. We're in a hurry. We're stressed. We're afraid. It's so cool. And also, like, it's actually kind of crazy. And it's so satisfying in the year, 2024, 25, to have this musical language that has been around for hundreds of years, you guys. This music has been around for hundreds of years. And yet we're still finding ways to evolve through it and create ideas mentally, create ideas sonorally, create ideas, seemingly out of thin air to represent things, to represent feelings, to represent emotion, to represent fear, to represent monsters themselves. And that's the really cool thing about Monster Hunter, in my opinion, is that it's able to use classical orchestral writing, or electric guitar, of course, when we're talking about Zinogre and stuff, to describe and to showcase like characters. It's really freaking cool. I mean, like, this is absurd. I mean, like, this is like, so many years since Mozart, Beethoven, Bach were alive. And like, look at what we're getting, And so many of you are classical music fans, and you don't even really like, maybe you don't even really like get it, that like you're being spoon-fed classical music. Like, you could go to a symphony today, guys. If if it was available and it was at an affordable price and so on and so forth, like, there's nothing stopping you. You already like this music. If you like Monster Hunter's music, you already like this. You know what I mean? It's crazy. It's a really crazy thing to think about. It's so much more approachable. Now, obviously it's not in the same context, and context is important, but at the same time, like, it's just wild to think that what we're hearing right now is something that we've been doing in operas or in tone poems or whatever. And in fact, in some ways, it's more advanced than those things. It's cool. All right, so now we move into the sort of like the theme, the general battle theme of the wildlands, or whatever this area is, and it starts with this blah 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 blah, which is really cool.
Immediately neutralize this
So there, it's cool because I know that my sound effects are pretty loud, so bear with me. I'll try to discuss it as it happens. But something that's really cool there is we get the really nice horn accents. Ba, 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 ba. You'd be surprised. One of the comments here over on YouTube says, I know I like the music, but the stuffy gatekeeping and elitism from a lot of the community stops me from enjoying it outside of video games. You'd be surprised how many people aren't those things. And a lot of that is like ingrained. There has been a history. You're right, and that feeling is valid, because there has been a history of elitism, or like you have to wear a tuxedo, or you can't do XYZ while at the concert, and there's all these rules, and people are really like stuck up, and those are all things that exist. But I think nowadays, especially after the pandemic, there's a desire to get people to just be there. And I never felt that there was I would go to the symphony in a t-shirt and not sweatpants, but a t-shirt and jeans or a sweater. And it was like, I don't want to get dressed up. Like, why should I do that? And you'd be surprised at how accepting people are now, of just like getting people to come, especially. I mean, I just think like, and also if they're assholes about like, if they're elitist, they really don't have a real like foothold to stand on, because like there's no ground to stand on for that, because like what suffered the most, well, I shouldn't say that. Well, it was one industry that suffered immensely because there were no performances. So like, who are they to like get up in your face about whether or not something is, whether or not their perspective or opinion is valid? Elitism in classical music? Who's got time for that? Who's got time for that? They're just trying to get butts and seats. I mean, like it's insane. So if you're worried about that, I would say definitely don't be afraid, or don't allow that to stop you from checking out the symphony, because you'd be surprised. There's a lot of good music out there. And again, especially because we have this background with video games, doing all this stuff. A lot of you are already exposed to really good music that is classically rooted. So I would implore you to try it. Try it once, try it twice. Maybe you'll love it. I know that a lot of people have gone to the opera after watching my videos, and that makes me really happy, because like, again, I mean, like, break the mold. You don't have to worry about elitists. Elitists should be worried about you. They should mind their own damn business too. There's no room for elitism in the classical music industry. It's bullshit. Anyway, so this is for the small monsters in the Wildspire Waste. Yeah, it's true. Let's keep listening. Some really cool things happening in there. There's some orchestration there in the lower strings. It sounds like bo ba-da-ba-do, ba-da-ba-do, ba-da-ba-do. Then on the flip side, you have the upper strings going da 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 ya da da da, which is interesting because there's a clash there. And the music in this game feels fuller than it ever has. The fact that it's dynamic with the gameplay will make this Monster Hunter a truly special experience musically. I think you're right. It's a very, very full sound, and dynamically it feels like it's very front and center as well, which is pretty interesting. You hear how like a little bit of dissonance. I apologize that my sound effects are a little loud. In the future, when I record, I'll make sure to turn off, lower my sound effects. That's unfortunate and frustrating for me. I should have recognized that I would eventually be talking about this, and I should have dialed it down to like a 2 or a 3, because no one needs to hear me shooting my gun. But it felt good in my ears, so I kind of was like, well. Also, some really nice things is that we do get a bit of a solo, with some sort of instrument that I actually don't know the name of, but I love how it goes. This is really, really cool.
It's going to attack.
There's really nice moments in there too. There's also a really nice moment where we get that ba-ba-ba-bum, which is really, really satisfying. And it's just such a neat sound. Yeah, actually, I would like to listen to the... Let's listen to a clean version. And I'll mute my Monster Hunter Wilds Small Monster music. Is this for the... No, this is for the small monsters. I think it's here. No, that's definitely for right out. No, that's not it. Maybe it's this one. Nope. Here it is. what I love about this music to me from an emotional standpoint is the fact that when we listen to it, a medium monster would be really easy to not give a shit about. But what they've chosen to do, first of all, texturally, like that's a really clean sound. Like that's super brassy, super string focused, of course. There's a bunch of like over the top accents, which I think are really interesting. And I think from an emotional standpoint, that particular music leaves us feeling like shit, like this is dangerous, you know what I mean? And I think it does a really good job. Now, obviously, right, but it does a really good job of adding a sense of stress, because it doesn't really feel like it's pointed towards us. It actually feels like it's pointed towards the monster itself. There's a degree of stress in that music that's geared towards the monster pointing itself at us rather than us being triumphant. And that's something that Monster Hunter does consistently, where it'll, have themes for monsters themselves rather than being about the hero. They're actually about the hunted. And I think that that's a really, really, really interesting way of creating music so that we don't necessarily always feel comfortable. One of the hardest and most challenging things about Monster Hunter is that every time you get into a battle, you are this close to death. Like, it does require like legitimate practice to be good at fighting these things. And I like how even in a simple monster like the Chadabara, is that what it's called? We still get that sense of stress, and especially because that's the first encounter we have in the game. Like, isn't that cool? Isn't that cool? And then on the strings you get da 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 ya da da ba, you know? And I love the accent. It's a little spicy. There too, I mean, like, what a fantastic thing. In between that crazy nice high lick with the trumpet, you also get the brass, the trombone going boom, boom, and it just punches you in the face. It's so cool. And then it switches to this almost like boom, bum, 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 boom, 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 boom. I actually don't know what instrument this is, but that is so interesting, because maybe the guitar like instrument is actually our theme. You know what I mean? Like, again, I'm just like making it up, but that's the best part about music, is that yes, we're watching the context, we're experiencing the context, but there's also like this beauty in just like exploring and feeling what music could mean to us individually. And it's something that's really important, that a lot of people take for granted. It's like, context is so vital. And I used to be very anti-context, but context is everything. And but it's really fun to then take the context out and be like, okay, well, like when I hear this lick, I think this, or I think that, or I think this or that. Like, it's important for us as people that are musically intelligent to listen to music and be like, okay, well, I know what the context is telling me, but I think it actually means this. And it's not like you're saying like fuck you to the composer. You're just saying like, okay, well, yeah, I mean, I could see why that would work for the medium monster theme. When I hear this, I feel this danger, especially here. Or like this little lick means like we're almost there, but then all of a sudden the monster turns around and then we get that music. Like, that's all stuff that we can do because we're emotionally and musically savvy and intelligent, and we can create scenarios in our mind's eye despite having seen it in the actual game itself, right? And that's the cool thing about music, is that the composer's not sitting there like, yes, they're looking at the footage and they're like, maybe sometimes they're not, and they're coming up with something. But bigger than that is that they're ultimately, the goal of a good composer is to make us feel. The goal of the good composer is for an emotional reaction. And that's why, you know, it works so well that we're talking about this music from an emotional perspective. Now, if you want that theory work, there are other channels to help you with that, of course, or you can go off on your own, especially if you're a musician or what have you, and you can explore the theory of why something is the way it is with the key signature, so on and so forth. But all the little ideas make for a bigger and more interesting sort of emotional party by putting the clues together and thinking about how it makes us feel and what things may look like in our mind's eye and stuff. Like that. That's all about driving forward. Bum, ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-dum. That's all about moving. You feel like that's like moving, but with danger and with a little bit of hesitation. And there's the motif. There's the motif. I know I'm yapping quite a bit, but I mean, you could be anywhere else and you're here, so I'm a yap. Like, even here, look at that, how subtle that little like motif is. And that's the motif of the Hunter, I think, and the Grand Fleet. That's the motif of like, you can do this. There too. It's both of them. It's interesting. It trades instruments. Where is it? Sorry. Right there, right? Very subtle though, if you're not listening. So I think the legato line, and when I say legato line, I mean this sound right here. Let's listen. You hear how that is in direct opposition to the horns? Now let's isolate our ears and listen to the horns. You hear how there's a little bit of clash there? And then listen to, now one more time, listen to the percussion. You hear how that's in direct opposition. So that it's so obviously we have rhythm and we have melody, but it's interesting how the horns, the strings, the horns represent the Chotacabra. The strings represent us because they're smaller. The horns are obviously representing something bigger because the horns are making a bigger sound. And then interestingly enough, the rhythm in that little corner is actually representing this duel, this fight between the two of us. I think that that's a really cool thing. Who knows if that's correct? Doesn't really matter. But it's really fun to think like, oh yeah, that makes perfect sense. Right? And then obviously we get like the chase music and stuff. But let's head over back to my gameplay here and let's fast forward to, yeah, let's do this chase music real quick. So as always, chase music is basically, and this is what, we just filmed a video on dynamic music yesterday, but this is a really cool concept because this is like the definition of dynamic music that changes in and out of battle. Oh my god, I just put two and two together. This person named their character Gojo Satoru from JJK. I just put that together. Now that's funny. I don't know why that's funny, but that's funny to me. I had no idea that Gojo Satoru. I was like, wow, what a cool name. And then now I'm like, oh, Gojo Satoru from fucking JJK. I swear I'm like only good at this game with the light bow gun. I really want to be good at the longsword, but I'm just ass. I'm just terrible. The only thing I can really control in these games is the light bow gun. Let me just get this. I like how we still get tension, but yada. But now it's all like pulled back, so it's like a lot of harpins in there. Bum 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 bum. Right, it's cool. And it's almost like we still get that main motivic idea of the medium monster sound, bum 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 bum, but it's just like a little bit covered. It's pretty cool. And that's really fun. It's like sort of like classic sound of a storm. Look at this bastard laying down. It's trolling. And then, of course, there we get ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da, ba-da-da, da-da-da-da, ya-da-da. Really gorgeous little rendition there of the Proof of a Hero, which is the highlight for defeating your foe. But that kill cam was very funny, though. But it's different than the other ones. Da 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 ba da da ba da 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 do. It's very chill. And yes, it is interesting that it's way more subdued than bombastic, which is cool. It's pretty much appeared in every time that you've had a conflict in every time you've defeated something in Monster Hunter. All right, let's go. I'm going to see about this town theme really quick.
We're from a place far out west.
You must have.
Actually, I want to get to Raid Dow. So let me just circle back. I don't want this video to be too long. Where's the... I want that town, Monster Hunter. Kunafa Village, yeah, that's one. I like that there's an essential like sort of tribalism in that you know, it feels storied, it feels old, it feels very, you know, it's been around for a really long time. I actually don't think I got to this part in the I didn't play a lot of the beta because I didn't want to spoil myself on the experience too much. I'm always so impressed by people that play like 14 hours of a beta and then have to like start over. Obviously, there are folks that do that because that's their job. So I mean, that's a different conversation. But I love the bouncing quality in this. Obviously, you get boom, 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 bum, bum, but it's really that flute up top, that sort of pan flute sound that really, I think, sends it home in a really big way. That flute up top is so inviting, and it's also like playful. I mean, like listen to it. I mean, like you don't need me to tell you that, but like let's listen. And then underneath you have essentially like a counter melody here. Oh, I didn't realize it was laying eggs right there. Or nursing its eggs. But I love it because we're essentially like trading off instruments. Like there's an instrument here, there's an instrument there, there's an instrument here. And what it does is it creates a lived-in environment to me. When I hear multiple different instruments sort of dancing off of each other, it feels like a celebration. It feels like a dance. And that's really, really fun because it's a village that's been around for a really long time. It's like a proud people, and that's really just lovely. I know there's more that we could listen to that, but I want to get to the night theme. That percussion is interesting. Obviously twinkling, it feels like rustling wind. Distant piano, upper register, very sleepy quality. Ba ya ba da da, ya ba da da, ya ba da da. See, that's so crazy. I mean, like, again, did you hear the theme there? I don't know. They're throwing this main theme everywhere. It's really interesting how right here we hear it. But we're talking about like an interval. Like this is the magic of music and the magic of like setting a motif early, because it literally it's just 3 notes. I mean, it's like it's an interval. It's a freaking interval. Like there's nothing about that is like that's the main theme. And yet, because we've heard it now like 5 times throughout different fights and in the main theme, of course, it's amazing how they're interjecting it very subtly, but not like in your face where it's constantly playing. You know, dum 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 dum. It's also really cool that we still have like a lot of rhythmic drive in here, because we're going boom, bum 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 ba dum ba dum bum 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 ba dum ba da. And that's really fun because it allows for a forward movement, even if we don't always listen to the rhythm. Even if the rhythm is temporarily there front and center, what it does is it sort of sets up that undercurrent. So we're essentially like existing within that rhythm, but underneath the soundscape. You know what I mean? Like even though the rhythm isn't always there, you can still sort of feel it when it's not. It's cool. Interesting strong brass there with that lower register tuba and trombone. And the last thing I'd like to say about that is that, you know, it's really cool too how we get in the day theme. It's a very bright, normal, and this is such a standard approach to music where in the day themes are always brighter, usually faster rhythmically, very much more melodic, front and center, so on and so forth, right? But on the night theme, in this particular case, we have that that percussion. It's very bassy percussion. It's really like it sits in a real low spot. Then on top of that, we have that flute in the day theme that really kicks up front and center. It's really like, it's sort of improvisational. It feels very like, yes, we're happy to be alive. Right. But in the night theme, we replace that with the chimes, with maybe a harp, another stringed instrument. And so what you end up with is this interesting mix of like, one is very like traveler friendly, very, very transient, and the other is more homey and more docile. What I find really interesting about this, the Kunafa Village themes, is that the day theme and the night theme are not necessarily that similar. In fact, they're quite different, which is a nice surprise because technically this is also dynamic music because it's a same place but different tunes depending on the time of day and so on and so forth. And I have to say it's really impressive to not just have it be like a carbon copy slower version of something. Like it still has essences of it, but it's essentially its own little beast, which is cool. All right, and then I want to hop over to Ray Dow's theme. But before that, I want to just quickly look over at my footage. 1 second, though. Just need to check some messages. Okay. So, first of all, I mean, visually, Ray Dow is really fascinating. You know, sound design wise as well, having the sort of jewel sound quality exist is pretty neat. Love that sound effect right there. Like the gemstone crashing into the ground. So one thing that I really liked about this particular moment for me as I was playing it was it goes and it instantly thrusts us into the action. Now let's get a clean version here and talk a little bit about it. So you hear how emphatic the horn is right away. That's instantly like, who dares disturb my slumber? I'm here, bitch. I'm about to kill you. That's the sound that comes across there right away. The other thing worth noting is that when we start that fight, whether it's whatever, this is a different version than mine, obviously, but when we go, that's the chaos. Right, that's the chaos of the lightning storm. That's the chaos of this giant wyvern. That's the chaos of just like not knowing what its attacks are going to be. That's the chaos of just like its size and also its wings flapping and blocking you and all this other stuff. It's pretty cool. See, you can even hear the shimmering of the gems. That's the other really cool thing in this. In a couple seconds in, you can hear the twinkling of the gems in that. And I think this little corner is the highlight of this theme for me. Yeah. I mean that's so cool, guys, because like that's such a big swell. I mean, like let's look at oh. Just listen. So we start with one instrument. I'm going to try to talk during this one. First instrument. Second, strings. Heavy brass there. Duduk. Comes together. And then it's so loud. I mean, dynamically, we're talking here. Like, there's so much shit in there. You know what I mean? Like, that's fucking crazy. Bum, bum, bum. And that those big blasts too. That's the lightning. That's the thunder. I mean there's a massive heft in there that's really satisfying. That's the twinkling again. And coolly about that is that the strings are moving in a pattern where you don't know if they're going left to right. Like it's a cool thing about the strings is that like they're shifting tides. So like, are they going here? Are they going here? Are they going here? Are they going here? We don't know. It's chaos. I mean, that's like the whole point, right? Dun, dun, dun. And then here, this little corner is like very majestic, isn't it? It's not dissimilar to the village theme, but here we get like in the upper flute there, and it's got majesty, it's got size, it's got grace to it too. Despite the fact that the lower section of that, if I can re-listen to it in a second, feels very heavy still. Yeah. Especially with that rhythm. Some nice doubling in there. Let me pull back. A little bit of almost sounds like vocals. It's a little bit. This is a little bit more contemplative, right? But it's still like, holy God! Do you see that thing? Do you see that thing right there? Oh my God, it's huge! Like that's the sort of mentality where it's like, okay, well, like I gotta. There's a little bit of fear there for that hunter. It's really interesting. Dum 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 dum. A little bit of synthetic there, a little bit of muffled. Bum, 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 ba-dum, bum, ba-bum, bum, bum, ba. There's the motif. And that's such a sick, of course, people, that's one of the most replayed sections, but like that's the real like rub right there. That's where it all kind of coalesces into that main motif there. And again, that main motif probably for us, but there's an inherent fear in that motif because you know. Love that. Wait, that's not the main motif. But something else. I'm so sorry. That's such blue balls right there. But the other thing that's really cool about that is we get this fantastic. I don't think that's the Ray Dow theme. I don't think that's the main theme of the game. But the other thing that's really fantastic about that is here you get the sick rhythm, and that again. I mean, like forward drive. That's dum 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 shadum dum da da. While over top we're getting this pretty florid. But again, think about that. How many notes is that? That's 8. That's 8 notes. That's like sick. It's sick. That's like such good, simple motivic writing with 8 notes. Ba 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 da da. Like that's 8 notes. It's fuck. Da da da. Then it changes key. And also, again, like let's think about how virtuosic. Also, what a smooth, gorgeous transition. But like, let's think about how virtuosic that little corner is with that violin. It almost sounds like has that pressed in quality of like a fiddle almost. It's very like, you know, it's like it's angry, it's agitated, it's full of power. Right? Did you feel like it's pressing into that violin really forcefully? And then it comes together again. That low brass. Explosive energy. I mean, explosive energy. I mean, it's hard to not to get amped up by it, but like, it's explosive. Right? Jesus. And that lightning storm is so in your face. Bum, bum. It reminds me, it gives me Ace Combat vibes, actually, because the Archange and Soul Squadron and a couple other, well, really those two pieces really focus on that jet engine sound. And it's an incredible thing when you can take an instrument and allow it to build up a quality where it sounds like a thing. And the other thing worth noting, can I find this? You know, I hate music copyright. I mean, like, Rigoletto Storm Trio. Public domain. Let's see. This shit's been going on for years, you guys. I mean, like, years. Years. This has been happening. I mean, we're hearing a storm. Storm Trio from Rigoletto is a prime example of a storm set to music. But Storm Trio, public domain. Let me hear. Hear that? That's a storm. Ooh, that's a storm. That's like, oh, the wind, right? I don't want to use this guy's music because so frustrating because I want to share with you stuff, but well, you heard a little glimpse of it. Ooh, I mean, storm motifs have happened for at this point for hundreds of years, and so it's really cool to hear like that version of a storm, but like on crack, if you will. Like it's just crazy. I mean, like listen. I mean. Right there, I mean, like, bow, shot, right? And I also think that the flute there represents like the majesty of it. I mean, we're talking about like a giant flying wyvern, a giant flying wyvern. I mean, like musically, you know. That's not the game. It's buffering. Hold on. Buffer. I mean, even right there, look at the size comparison. I mean, so we know it's incredible how majestic this wyvern is, despite the fact that, I mean, oh fuck, I rewound too far. But it's crazy to see the size difference. Bro, you're ruining my video. But even here, look at the size difference. Look, its head is as big as us, right? And so again, you know. And we hear that crystalline sound, and that also appears in that music as well. It's such an interesting touch. Well, anyway, all that to say, I'm really excited about Monster Hunter Wilds. I will probably be absolutely terrible at it. I've been so indecisive about what weapons to use. I have no idea what my plan is. I'll probably just have people come and play with me because, well, that's how I beat Monster Hunter World as a light bow gunner. I'll probably end up sticking as a light bow gunner. It's just the one option I have always felt most closely connected to, I guess. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I hope you enjoyed me breaking down the ins and outs of everything I heard in the Monster Hunter Wilds beta. Well, not everything, but most things. As always, thanks a ton, and I'll see you later. Chad, you stay here. We're moving on to another thing. We're going to move on to looking at music from games from 2024. That's the rest of the thing on the agenda. Yo, you leaving? All right, see you later. 24 video game releases. Oh yeah, chat, get water. I'm drinking this all day rosé. I don't even drink alcohol, but this is a sparkling water that tastes like rosé. À plus tard, Vanya. Do you say you're drinking curry? Oh no. All right, let's take a look at all the games that released in 2024. I'm going to update the title of the streams here. Ooh, Happy Console Gamer, Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake review. You know I want to watch that. All right, let's just... Looking at music from games released in 2024. Ah! The hell just happened? Did it just reset? Strange. So, all right. So January, let's see if I hope this is right. Looks like January had some interesting stuff. Kenoto Pet, Moondora Moonlit Farewell, War Hospital, Crystal Story Dawn of Dusk, Gungrave Gore. Oh my god, so many games I did. Home Safety Hotline. What? Immortal Life, Bonson Knight, Dread Out 2, The Pedestrian. Oh, I remember this. Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown. Rest in peace. Turnip Boy Robs a Bank. Yuna and the Haunted House, The Haunted Hot Springs. Another Code. Obviously, I'm not including like sex games that came out. I know there's an audience for that. The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered. Toho Soju, Tale of Beautiful Memories. The Universum. Man, nothing. Okay, Graven. Howl, Little Guardsman. Neptunia. Stargate Timekeepers. Wow. Stumble Guys. Oh, yeah. Okay. Tasokare Hotel Renewal. Toribash Next. Apollo Justice Ace Attorney Trilogy. Doki no Igasuki Desuka. Phantom Abyss. Shiren the Wanderer, The Mystery Dungeon of Serpent Coil Island. Toho Luna Nights. Well, that came out this year. Under Night in Birth 2. Like a Dragon was Infinite Wealth. That was 26th. Tekken 8 was also the 26th. Celeste 64. Fragments of the Mountain. Rugby 24. Blaze Blue. Black Box. Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. That was February. Jujutsu Kaisen. Okay. I'm intrigued. I want to see musically. I want to see. Oh, thanks, Guapo, for becoming a member. Appreciate that. Sorry, it took me a second to. All right, let's see. I literally want to go through Kenoto Pet music. I'm just so curious. This can't be right. Kenoto Pet. It's a single dev, it looks like. Kenoto Pet. Oh no, maybe it is that. Yeah, January 24th. Okay. Photosensitivity warning.
Hi, I'm Kanito, your virtuality on the screen. Let's go with the flow. I'm nothing like you've ever seen. Welcome to the web world where you can help out my crew with tasks. Come give it a whirl. Also, would you mind if I ask? What's your favorite color and cuisine? What place do you want to live in? Who is your best friend in the world? And is the answer me? Enter correctly. Enter me, please. You are my friend. Are you content? Just you and me. It'll be so much fun. You'll have a ball. Here is a tour of the world that I built for you with love. Look at the walls, it's what you drew. And look, there is all your favorite foods. I was wondering just a little thing. Will you stay with me? Enter correctly. Enter me, please. You have no voice. There is no joy. Just you and me. It'll be so much fun. You'll have a ball. Don't want you free forever and ever. You're my friend. Why not give the access all duty? Just put in the code on the screen. And I'll be waiting here patiently. Wait, what is happening? Why you believe me? This is no more fun. Please change it back. I'm so sorry. I guess it's goodbye. This is the end. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry, I wanted to be your friend.
I mean, honestly, like, I mean, this is Troy N is the, I don't know if this is a single dev or something, but like, that's pretty wild. That came out January 9th. What's it called? Kinoto Pet? Yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, so Kinoto Pet, the game that doxes you. It's on Steam.
G A give me your answer. I'm half crazy for love of you. It would be a stylish marriage. I can't afford a carriage. But you look sweet on the seat of a bicycle built for two. Of a bicycle built for two.
Huh. Interesting. Okay, so that was Kinoto Pet. That came out on January 9th. Then we've got Momodara, Moonlit Farewell. This was a Metroidvania. Let's see. That's got like a full soundtrack. Indie Metroidvania game developed by Bomb Service and published by PlaySim. It was originally released on January 11th, 2024 for Windows. Moonlit Farewell is the 5th game in the Momodara series and continues the story from Momodara 3. Metroidvania gameplay. Okay. I just want to listen to, like, I don't know, a random... let's listen to... What's a longer track? Let's listen to... Koho Moonlight. Here we go. thing is, like, that's not badly composed. So, like, have I heard anyone speak about Momodora? No. Does that mean that it's like ass? No. Momodora, Moonlit Farewell. You know, it's an interesting thing. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. It's interesting how, like, something that's just not been on, like, any radar. You know, it's fine. It's quite good, and it's reviewed pretty well too. So I mean, it's interesting how, you know, again, it's just like we get hung up on like what the game of the year should be, but there's like every game has like decent music. It's just a question of like, okay, well, like let's if we're gonna do like a if we're gonna do an awards ceremony, it can't just be for, I mean, it has to be for like a limited amount of games, but should it be based on the most popular games, or should it be about like the ones that have the most merit, you know? I find that to be an interesting discussion at the very least. This is War Hospital. Let's do, I guess we'll do Everything Else Fades. Hello. Actually, you know what? I'll instead of listening to individual tracks, I'll just listen to the tracks in the trailer.
We'll be here soon. I'll better check our stocks.
What about the hospital? Are we to evacuate the facility?
No, sir. HQ gives us no such orders, sir. In fact, there were no orders for us.
It does not really matter right now. We should focus on helping the survivors.
Germans started dropping gas on our trenches. I need you to heal my man, Major, as fast as you can.
Sir, may I speak with you?
Of course. What's on your mind?
The plague that broke out, sir. It is taking a heavy toll on the civilians.
Oh, shit.
The plague that hit the hospital arms.
So,
With so few.
you know, based on my limited understanding of what I just watched in this trailer, and skipping through, you know, this is your quintessential, like, war sound, right? Yeah, I need to do a better job of actually, like, keeping track of the games that that come out every month. Otherwise, this is a pain in the ass to do it at the end of the year.
The perversity of war. Is a man in a different uniform a different man? Would they do the same for us? I guess I'll never find out. You have to live on. And although now I can see that we will not save everyone.
I mean, atmospherics wise, like as a big World War buff, I would absolutely play that. You know, whether or not it's actually good is a different question. But fact of the matter is that musically, it's not again. I mean, this is the problem: is that like none of these are bad. But who the fuck is playing War Hospital right now? Not any of us. You know, Top Racer collection. How about this one? All right, so Top Racer is a re-release. Might as well. A nurse. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean it's just an old racing game. Top Racer was a game series that came out a long time ago. So the devs of War Hospital got super screwed by management. Really? I mean, like what categories? Let's see. We have categories for AAA games, right? AAA OSTs. We have mobile game. We have mobile OST. That includes gotcha, whatever. You have underappreciated gems. So like a game that didn't perform well. You have popular vote, popular OST, which would be similar to a AAA OST. Then what else do you have? You have different categories. You have console exclusives, which there are basically none of anymore, really. Would end up being all Sony. And realistically, that would also fall into AAA. Then you would do what? You could do mod OSTs. So like if a Terraria mod comes out, mod OSTs, or like something like that, then that would have its own category. Then you would have like its own category for Nintendo. I think Nintendo would deserve its own category. I think you would also then have what? You would then have indie games would maybe get their own category, which would be different than underappreciated gems. I'm just percolating. I'm just percolating. Nothing. I'm not doing anything right now. But Gungrave Core. Let's listen to this. Home safety. So actually this list has more. Gungrave Core. What's this? Gungrave Core. Why does this say 2023? Probably because it came out. Huh? Oh, Gore. Sorry, I'm not wearing my glasses. Jesus. You could have a made in Japan category. Made in Japan. Home safety online. Let's see this. Safety online OST. That's funky. I like that. Dun, 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 dun. See ya, Guapo. That's like gorgeous. That's like really good. What's that? That's this is Home Safety Hotline. Oops.
Hello? I was told to call this number to ask about my problem.
Hello, yes, I believe there may be some kind of problem with our home ventilation.
I don't know what's going on inside my house. I hear something crawling in the walls.
It's in the house. Nothing we did worked.
Okay, you want to explain to me what the hell is happening? Someone's breaking into my house and going through all my stuff at night.
It's in my bedroom right now. My wife. I can't see her face.
Please say you can help me.
Please hold.
I mean, so that's absurd because the music it like does such a good job of balancing the horror with this.
I must pay for my sins.
Oh, I'm good. I don't want to listen to that anymore. It's actually really incredible. All right, let's check out Immortal Life Simulation. What? Oh no. Whew. I thought it was. I'm not wearing my glasses. I thought that was something else.
甚是想念，不知修为精进几何。归云派已入正轨，同门团结一心，重振归云指日可待。现特邀道友前来紫云峰一聚，品一壶花酿，尝万千珍馐，共同见证归云盛况。
Chinese Stardew Valley. Oh no, I would play this. Oh my gosh. What the f... Oh no, I hate farming sim. Never mind. What? Hey, I mean, it's very positive on Steam. It's $10 off. Right? It's 40% off right now. Bonson Knight. Man, there are so many games that I just... And I have a pulse on this industry, but what is that? Oh, a cyberpunk sound. Oh, wow. Old school sound bit file. What? I would never play that, but that's interesting. Again, I mean, interesting sound font at least. Why did my Alexa just go off? What's Dread Out? 2, no less. There's been a first one? Are you having fun, chat? This is the craziest thing I've ever... Well, it's not the craziest thing I've ever done, but... Not the Silent Hill 2. It's got the Silent Hill musical aesthetic.
It's been a while. Finally, my favorite student has come to visit.
What?
Did you miss me? Shh, don't answer that.
No, not the fog, too.
Listen. Your heartbeat.
Not the voice acting, too. It sounds like Silent Hill's voice acting.
It's music to my ears. Your blood is boiling and flowing like crazy. Anger. Self-doubt. Poor girl. Let me teach you another lesson.
I do like the soundscape, though, very much. No, not the iPhone. Not the camera flashlight. Oh! Oh, Jesus. Ah! Oh, it's like oh. Fatal Frame. Oh, okay. Interesting. Hey, mostly positive with 1,600 reviews. So, a third-person horror game that draws inspiration from Indonesian urban legend plays Linda, a high school student with the ability to sense and see ghosts. The spine-chilling sequel expands on the cult hit original, making Dead Out 2 another terrifying addition to the horror genre. I'm gonna write it down. Discount Fatal Frame. That's rude. That's rude. The Pedestrian. Oh, this game. Oh. Oh, that looks like a fun puzzle game. Interesting music in this trailer. The music was really charming as well. It had a little playfulness to it, which was really interesting. Oh, people liked it too. I love that warm quality in that soundtrack. That's nice. I wrote that one down too. The Prince of Persia Lost Crown. This was a sad one because the studio, it just didn't make any money. But the music is by Gareth Coker. I like the main theme quite a bit. It was a well-produced game. What are these? It was a really cool take on this traditional instrumentation. Great soundtrack. I mean, it's like really, this was a really well produced soundtrack. Please, Ubisoft Music, don't copyright claim me for this. Turnip Boy Robs a Bank. Do these games have music in them? People like this game because of the memes, right? Oh, I like that. Is this a roguelike? Looks like Enter the Gungeon. Twin stick shooter. Sick soundscape. I think the reality is like, how do you judge a video game score? Like, what are the criteria for judging something? Whether it feels good, whether it sounds good, like they're like how it's, you know, how it's composed. I mean, like, what's the criteria for judging a video game score? Criteria for judging. Like, what is it? What is the criteria for judging VGM? You know, like what credentials? You could go into the theory of it, sure, but like I'm pretty sure that anybody that's listing off like game OSTs to be like judged for the Grammys or for the Game Awards is not looking at it with a critical lens, like a theory breakdown. You know, certainly if it elevates the game, you know, I guess if it sounds good, right? Does it improve the experience? Yeah. Does it sound good? Does it move the listener in any direction? You know. I liked that. Turnip Boy robs a bank. What's Iwana the Haunted Hot Springs? Japanese manga series? Manga. Oh God, please don't be porn. Oh no. No. Fuck. I'm gonna get demonetized. Another code. Okay, so that's just a remaster. The Cub. Demagogue. The Cub.
You're listening to the deepest tunes and warmest memories on Radio Nostalgia from Mars, music from the last days of Earth.
Whoa.
As you, our loyal listeners, already know, our friends on Earth are examining all the possibilities for establishing a base there. As of this episode, we have not yet heard from anyone back on Earth, but they must be very busy with important research. A bit of synthwave to keep the nostalgia flowing. You're tuned to Radio Nostalgia from Mars, music from the last days of Earth.
Yeah, the narration's not mixed well, but I'm really impressed by the game footage.
The talk of the town at the moment is that Charlie, our national hero, pilot of the Mars mission, has escaped in a private golf club wasteland shuttle. As of now, we haven't been able to make contact with Charlie, who seems to be roaming the ruins around Alphaville. We're hoping Charlie, who is a long-time listener of RNFM, will reach out to us. So Charlie, this is for you.
Come
Radio Nostalgia from Mars is here to while away the hours with music, stories, and memories from the good old days on Earth. Be safe, be kind.
That's intriguing. Really intriguing, actually. I wrote it down. Last was remastered. No, we'll skip that. Toho Shoujo. Interestingly, this was only on the PS4. Oh, that's because... Is this an RPG? God, Toho has too many games. I don't know. This music is dope, though. This may be one of my favorite Toho songs I've ever heard. What's up, buddy? Of course, this came out on the PlayStation 4, so it was already out on Steam in 2019. So most certainly does not count. But it was fun to listen to. God Game, the Universum. The Universum. Nope. Nope. If you're just joining us, I'm going through every single release of 2024, listening to music that stands out to me and writing it down. The Universum. Mostly based on the trailers.
Welcome, creator, to a journey unlike any other. Your mission is to nurture the beings we call nuggets. They may not be the brightest stars in the galaxy, but they will forever be indebted to you, their divine guide. Your nuggets will evolve through the ages, from their humble beginnings in the Stone Age with simple tools and primitive weapons, to their evolution into the medieval era, where nuggets embrace steam power and baffling architectural choices. Witness the marvel of the modern age, where they'll employ science and innovation to erect skyscrapers, craft bridges, and launch into the great unknown. However, like any budding civilization, they are driven by an uncanny impulse for self-destruction. Lucky for them, you wield godly powers of staggering proportions. Use lightning strikes, tornadoes, and other divine interventions to put those misbehaving nuggets.
Like it's like a Sim City light, but it also reminds me of. Anybody ever play Black and White?
They'll gaze at the cosmos.
That was like one of the games of my
Support
childhood.
Their grand ambitions as they set sights on an extraordinary task: colonizing alien worlds. New worlds bring new challenges. From icy wastelands to scorching deserts, nuggets must adapt, terraform, and exploit these alien landscapes for their precious resources. But beware, creator.
Wait.
The universe holds threats that may push you...
From fucking Interstellar.
But beware, creator. The universe holds threats that may push your godly skills to their limits.
I mean, the music was quite nice. Again, though, but like another game that just completely fell off the face. I mean, I never even. It was reviewed pretty well, mostly positive. Not that I trust. Not that I trust a Steam review. I used to, but then I realized that Steam reviewers are very emotional when they write their reviews. What's Graven?
Don't forget your staff, priest. It's the only thing that will keep you alive.
Yep. Graven. Mixed reviews. Do not buy this game as a non-functional save system. Oh. Well, yeah, that would be bad. But that music was pretty cool. Do you think that boomer shooters and FPS games are the same? Like, if you were to make a category specifically for FPS game OSTs, would you lump in a boomer shooter as well? I think like yes, but I'm not sure. So technically Power World came out early access on the 19th. It didn't fully release until later in the year, but I listened to a little bit of Power World's OST when it first came out. What was it? All that hubbub and no one talked about. I don't know. It's a really warm sound. It feels very Disney, but I don't mean that in like a negative way per se. It's nice. I have to say it's nice. I mean, I don't have a problem with Power World's music very much. I mean, I don't necessarily think it did anything, but that's like a nice theme. Oh, Immortality. But so this was a re-release. If I remember correctly, Immortality had come out the year before. Yeah, 2022. So we won't count that. Howl. Turn-based strategy. Oh? So wait, when did this come out on Steam? This came out in 23 on Steam.
It's written that there's one who defied for fighting beasts.
Hold up, though, because I'm going to write this down, because this looks like a game I would want to look at. I want to be equitable, so I'm not going to play it, because I didn't play the other 23 stuff, but... Oh, man, Enshrouded! I love this game. Enshrouded has a nice soundtrack. Listen to this. I'm going slowly because I'm doing it on purpose. Enshrouded's OST is great. Enshrouded OST is really ethereal. It works really well. We're still in January. It's like really good ambient music. It does a great ambient music should have its own category too. God, I don't think it's realistic for me to do like my own OST awards because I haven't played all these games. What am I gonna base it on? Just the soundtrack? I mean, I guess I could. Feels like that's sort of missing the point though. Well, maybe, but I mean, even still. DLC. Yo, Nate, what's up? Fair point. Better me, I guess. I'll take responsibility. Little Guardsman, what's this? Oh, this game.
Did I click the mic on right? Testing. Hello, hello. What do I think makes a good gate guardsman? First and foremost, you have to be someone who likes working with people.
I am not a monster, and I do not care to be labeled as such.
You have no honor, little one. But also, you have to be a good judge of character.
Thank you, trusting little girl.
This is just Papers, Please.
Don't come stepping on me or I'll knock you right back on your...
Wait, what?
The most important thing is to be decisive. There's no room for second guessing in this line of work.
There's a very important deadline that could affect the fate of the entire kingdom. You don't know what you're doing.
Oh, I don't like any of my answers. I'll take a do-over.
The news is saying the city is being attacked. The Sprawl is at war.
War? That couldn't be my fault, right? Just keep your eye on the prize. Oh my god! There's a ghost right behind you!
Nice try, kid.
You're being sent to the front lines, soldier. I understand.
No! 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 You don't know what you're doing!
My dad leaves me in a gate guard simulator, and you get to go off and ride a dragon? I wish the developers of my game had that kind of budget.
I want to play that. That's cute. Did it have a good soundtrack though? Ooh, indie. Ooh. No, but I'm gonna just put that in my little wish list here. Hold on. Little Guardsman. Undead Night in Birth. What the fuck is this? Sis Celis?
I was just like transfixed on the names.
Well, that color is clean, actually.
It's clean. Shouts to 49ers. Hope they do well this weekend. You'll become one with the arachnid.
Oh no, I want to listen to the soundtrack. Hold on. fucking love that. I love that. Neptunia Sisters versus Sisters. I think this is a porn game. Let's see. Nope. No. 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 Low-key kind of like that music. I don't even know what category that would go in. I guess anime games. You know how I can skirt by, not because there's a skirt in that game, but you know how I can skirt by not choosing a winner? Choosing 5. Just do categories. And each category can have like 5 games in it. Rather than being like, this one won, you know? Apollo Justice doesn't count. Toho Lunar Nights, because that's a trilogy re-release, I think. Toho Luna Nights. I've heard the soundtrack. It's good. This is a 2018 game? Oh yeah, you're right. It's 2019. It just came out on you're right. The Cauldron Kids, The Summoning of Mr. Vermicelli. What in the god? Fine. I don't want to like hate it or anything. Stumble Guys. No. Tasokare Hotel Renewal. I gotta know what this is about. What is this about? Oh, is it a English language not supported? Let's not. Wait, but does that mean there's... Yeah, no, there's not even subtitles. Tori Bash Next. What's this? Mostly negative.
The next evolution of Tori Bash is here! 3 and 4 player modes to make friends or lose them. New weapons. Use responsibly. Yeah! Play with a team or go all versus all if you're antisocial. Rewatch that sick stunt you pulled over and over and over. Customization with all...
No. Music wasn't bad, though. It's part of why we're here. Doki ino igasuki desak... I hope that's not a swear word. What is this? Visual novel database. We'll skip. Phantom Abyss. 2024 action adventure game. Devolver. Trap filled template. Okay, let me see. Mostly negative. Something must have happened. Oh, is that what the game looks like? Well, you would think like a 3D temple run would do well. What's going on here? Okay. Oh, wait, that's just because there's like, how many reviews? Like 1,000? So, recently negative. Oh, game servers are down. There is no single player. Shiden the Wanderer, the mystery dungeon of Serpent Coil Island. Roguelike role-playing game developed and published by Spike. 6th entry in a game I've never heard of. $47 minutes? I don't want to watch all that. Huh? You got punched. They're fishes. The music is kind of interesting though. Oops. Yeah, I quite like that flute stuff there that's going on. That's really wild. I find that really interesting. I mean, I don't really hate that. Shiren Mystery Dungeon. All right, it's 1 o'clock. At 2 o'clock, we will be back for Maple Story. Quite a bit of pieces from Maple Story at 2 o'clock. In an hour, I'm going to go eat lunch, take Luna out. See you back in an hour. Thanks for joining me on this stream. I know this is laborious, but you know, the goal here is to write down as many songs as possible and really start to percolate about what makes a video game soundtrack so good and what came out in 2024. So I'll be back at 2 o'clock for a full listen through of like many songs from the Maple Story OST. Thanks a ton, everybody. We'll see you later, okay?